Hey guys, what's up? I hope you are all having an awesome day and week so far. My name is Lana and welcome to Power Yoga. We are going to start our practice today on our mat down in child's pose. So making sure you have your mat laid out, some water, maybe lighting a candle or turning down the lights, and then meeting in that child's pose. Nice wide legs here, nice wide knees, sending the hips back, reaching the arms forward, and bringing the forehead down to the mat. You have to choose between putting the forehead on the mat or sending the hips down. Definitely choose having your forehead on that mat. Gravity will do its work to pull those hips down over the next couple of breaths. Again, reaching our arms forward here, and with every exhale, fully releasing and allowing yourself to sink deeper into the mat. And as you continue to breathe, maybe bringing a slight length into your exhales. Becoming more aware of your internal self with every breath. Acknowledging that this is your practice today. So I'll be leading us through some movement, but if you'd like, you can always just stay here in this child's pose for the next 60 minutes, or returning to it whenever you need throughout the practice. Continuing to breathe here. And on your next inhale, gently walking the fingertips over to the right side of the mat. Feeling a nice side stretch in the left side of the body. Still keeping that forehead down on the mat. Maybe closing your eyes if they aren't so already. And just continuing to breathe. On your next inhale, gently walking back to center. And then over to the left side. This time having that side stretch in the right side of the body. Filling the belly with air with every inhale. And completely releasing with every exhale. On your next inhale, walking back through center. And beginning by activating our shoulders just a little bit by pressing into the palms of the hands, lifting the shoulders up off the mat. If you'd like to deepen this even more, you can come up onto spider fingers, pressing into the finger pads, lifting the palms up off the mat, and pressing through the shoulders a little bit deeper. Maybe feeling the stretch in the upper back. On your next exhale, release the hands back down to the mat. Begin to walk the hands back, meeting in a nice tabletop position, lifting the hips up, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Maybe keeping the eyes closed if that feels comfortable for you. And just beginning to find some organic movement here. Maybe moving the hips from side to side. Maybe moving through some barrel rolls. Or you can always come into cat-cow by inhaling into our cow pose and sending the hips back. And exhaling into our cat by rounding through the spine on the exhale. Just continuing whatever movement feels good for you today, just gently warming up that spine. Be thinking about spreading the fingertips a little bit on the mat, pressing evenly into the hand, making sure those hands are even. Continuing to breathe. And on your next exhale, gently coming into a neutral tabletop position, we are going to get right into it today in this power class. Putting more weight into the right hand, begin to lift the left arm up. And if you'd like, you can come into our bird dog pose by bringing the right foot back, squeezing the right glute to lift that foot up off the mat. So we have opposite hand and opposite foot off the mat right now. If you're comfortable, feel free to stay here, or you can come into a slight crunch by bringing the left elbow to the right knee, pausing, squeezing in a little bit higher. Exhale back to bird dog, extending the arm and the leg out. Inhale, crunch, elbow to knee. And exhale, extend, squeeze that glute, lift that right leg a little bit higher. Again, inhale, elbow to knee. And exhale, extend. One last time, inhale, elbow to knee. Squeeze it a little bit tighter. And exhale, back out. Keep squeezing that glute, keep squeezing, reaching that left arm up. And we are going to bring these out at a 45-degree angle. So bringing the left arm out to the left at a 45-degree angle, bringing the right leg out to the right, continuing to squeeze that glute, finding a spot to focus on and balance. Exhale, back to neutral. Again, exhale, bring the arm and the leg out. Squeeze that right glute, keep reaching that left arm. And inhale, back to center. 2 more times. Exhale, bring the arm to the side. Reach out the right leg. And inhale, back to center. 1 last time. Keep squeezing that right glute to bring the foot out. And exhale, back through center. Awesome job. If you'd like, you can stay here or you can reach that left arm back. Bend the right knee. Reach back and grab that right foot, coming into a slight twist. Press into the foot, maybe gazing over that left shoulder. Taking 1 last breath here. Exhale, gently extend and set that hand and knee back down on the mat. Swing the hips from side to side. Awesome job warming up those wrists, warming up those glutes, and getting ready to do the same thing on the other side. So meeting back in that neutral tabletop position. This time putting more weight into the left hand. Inhale to reach the right arm forward. Just like before, we're going to send that left foot back and maybe squeeze that left glute to lift that up off the mat. Coming into our neutral bird dog. Moving into our crunches, elbow to knee. Pull in, squeeze towards the center. And exhale to release. Inhale, elbow to knee. And exhale, release. Keep squeezing that glute. You got this. Inhale, elbow to knee. And exhale, extend. 1 last time. Inhale, elbow to knee. Squeeze in a little bit tighter. And exhale, back out to extend. Moving into those 45-degree angles. Keep squeezing that left glute. Keep reaching that left or right arm forward. On the exhale, gently begin to bring the right arm to the side and left arm to the left. Coming into that 45-degree angle. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, squeeze the glute, bring the leg out as we reach the arm to the side. And inhale, back to center. 2 more times. Exhale, reach out to the side. And inhale to center. 1 last time. Exhale, reach out to the side. Taking a breath here, continue to squeeze that left glute up just a little bit taller. And exhale, back to neutral. If you'd like, you can stay here, or you can reach that right arm around as we bend that left leg, trying to catch the foot with the hand, pressing into that foot to gently spin the chest over towards the right side. Taking a breath here. And on your next exhale, gently releasing that hand and knee back down to the mat, sending the hips from side to side. Maybe sitting back on your knees for a second and stretching out those wrists. We're going to do a lot of wrist work today. So maybe placing the tops of the hands down on the mat, just putting a little bit of weight there, not all of your weight. Exhale, placing the palms back on the mat, just feeling that gentle stretch. Whenever you're ready, moving back into that tabletop position, we are going to step out to a high plank. So shoulders over wrists, spreading those fingertips nice and wide. On the inhale, pull up through the scapulas, breathe into the upper back as you send the heels towards the back of the room, keeping those shoulders active. Continuing to breathe here. We're here for 2 more breaths. Inhale, breathe into the upper back. Breathe in through the shoulder blades. Exhale, release. 1 more time. Inhale, breathe into the shoulder blades. And on your next exhale, press through the hands to send the hips up, coming into our downward facing dog. Pressing through the shoulders here, sending the hips up as we pull the heels down. Maybe walking it out. Pressing one heel down and then the other. If you feel a little bit of imbalance here, maybe try taking your stance a little bit wider. Feel free to come off the mat if you need to. Take up as much space as you need. Continuing to breathe here, we're going to use this downward facing dog as a resting pose, just like our child's pose. So if ever we're in a downward facing dog and you feel like you need a little bit more of a break, feel free to bend the knees and come down into a child's pose. Taking a few more breaths here. Placing more weight into the left hand, begin to take the right hand and reach back to touch the left ankle, crossing the body here. Exhale, place that right hand back down on the mat. Same thing on the other side, press more into the right hand, take that left hand and touch the right ankle. Place that hand back down on the mat. Inhale, right hand, left ankle. Exhale, hand down to the mat. Inhale, left hand, right ankle. Exhale, down to the mat. We're doing that 2 more times. Inhale, right hand, left ankle. Exhale, release. Inhale, right hand, or left hand, right ankle. And exhale, release. Awesome job. Finding some stability again. Spreading those fingertips. On your next inhale, coming into a 3-legged dog, sending the right foot up. Turning the pinky towards the bottom of the floor, trying to flex our toes towards the mat. Dorsiflexing the foot. On your next inhale, pulling the knee into the nose, pausing here. And exhale back to 3-legged dog. Inhale again, this time pulling the knee in between the hands on the mat. And we are going to be inner spiraling that back heel, preparing for our warrior 2. Inhale to cartwheel the arms up, bending the front knee, sitting down into this warrior 2 pose. Gazing out over the fingertips, squeezing the thoracic spine back, and taking a few breaths. Finding your balance here, finding a spot to focus on. On every exhale, sinking deeper into that front leg. On your next elbow, bringing the right forearm to the right thigh, reaching the left arm over for our extended side angle. On the exhale, begin to pull the left shoulder back, bending that left elbow, opening the chest up more, gazing maybe up towards the ceiling. Inhale, extend the arm once again. Exhale, bend the elbow, open up through the chest. Inhale, extend the arm. One more time, exhale, open up through the chest by bending the elbow. Inhale, extend the arm up by the ear, take a breath here. Engage the core, pull some of the weight out of that forearm down on that right thigh. On your next inhale, moving up through center and coming into our peaceful warrior, reaching the left arm behind the back, the right arm over towards the right ear. Don't forget about that front right leg. Continue to bend and sink. And taking a few breaths here. Doing the same thing on this side. On the inhale, bend the right elbow to open up through the chest. Inhale, reach the arm back up by the ear. Inhale, bend the right elbow, open up, spinning the chest towards the ceiling. Inhale, extend the arm towards the right ear. One more time, inhale, bend the elbow, open up through the chest. Inhale, extend the arm back up. On your next inhale, beginning to pull the body back up into our warrior 2, cartwheeling the hands down and stepping back into our high plank, high push-up position. Chaturanga Dandasana, pull the chest towards the mat. And coming into our baby cobra, we have our elbows over our wrists. On the inhale, squeeze the scapula to pull the chest forward. Gazes down towards the mat. This is a very tiny movement. Only should be felt in the upper back and not the lower back. On your next inhale, moving through tabletop, come back up into a downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths here. Maybe an open mouth, audible sigh. Releasing into this mat. Continuing to breathe here. Doing the same thing on the other side. On your next inhale, begin to pull the left leg up, 3-legged dog. Dorsiflexing the foot, toes point down towards the mat. On your next inhale, nose to knee. Pause and pull up just a little bit closer to round through the spine. Exhale back to 3-legged dog. Inhale this time, pull the foot between the two thumbs, setting it at the front of your mat. Inner spiral the back heel at a 45-degree angle and cartwheel the arms up, coming into our warrior two position. Reaching out through the hands, sinking into that front leg, twisting the thoracic spine back, and bringing it back to the breath. On the inhale, thinking about lengthening our spine, and on the exhale, sinking deeper into that front left leg. Maybe squeezing the right glute to open up more through the hips. And taking a few breaths here. On your next exhale, moving into extended side angle, left forearm to left thigh, right arm reaches over. On your next exhale, squeeze the right elbow back to open up through the chest. Inhale, extend that arm back up by the ear. Exhale, bend the right elbow, spin more through the chest. Inhale, elbow to ear. One last time, inhale, spin the chest open. And exhale, elbow to ear. Take another breath here, squeeze the core, lift up out of that left forearm just a little bit. And on your next inhale, extend back up through center, warrior two. Taking a breath here, and then moving into our peaceful warrior. Right arm becomes behind the back, left arm reaches over. Don't forget about that front left leg. Continue to sink into this pose, activate those glutes, activate those thighs. On your next exhale, begin to bend the left arm back to open up through the chest. Inhale, extend the arm back up by the ear. Exhale, bend the elbow, open up through the chest. Inhale, elbow to ear. One last time, exhale, pull the chest open. And inhale, elbow to ear. Take one more big breath here. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the mat. Step the left foot back, move through your vinyasa by bringing the chest down to the mat. Maybe this time moving up into an upward facing dog with only 4 points of contact, the palms of the hands and the tops of the feet. And on your exhale, whenever you're ready, moving back into that downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths here, we're going to do that exact same sequence, but a little bit faster. Preparing to build some heat in our body even more than we already have. On your next inhale, whenever you're ready, begin to bring the right foot up, three-legged dog. Inhale, nose to knee. Pause, squeeze it in a little bit tighter. Exhale, three-legged dog. Inhale, right knee comes and the foot comes to rest on the mat between the palms. Go ahead and inner spiral that back foot and inhale to our warrior two. Take a breath on the exhale, extended side angle, right forearm to right thigh, reach the right arm over. Full inhale and exhale here. And inhale back up through center, peaceful warrior, left arm comes behind the back, right arm reaches over. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, step back, high plank, chaturanga, move through your vinyasa. Meeting in downward facing dog whenever you are ready. Taking 3 deep breaths here. Whenever you are ready, on an inhale, reaching the left foot up, three-legged dog. Inhale, nose to knee, pause, pull it a little bit closer. Exhale, three-legged dog. Inhale, pull the knee in, foot comes to rest between the two thumbs, inner spiral the back heel, and cartwheel the arms up into our warrior two. Take a beat to find some length here, press in to the front left leg, reach the arms out. On the exhale, extended side angle, left forearm to left thigh, reach the right arm over. Full breath here, inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, reaching up through center. On the exhale, moving into our peaceful warrior. Left arm comes up by the left ear. Right arm reaches behind the back. Full breath. On the exhale, cartwheel the hands down, step back, move through your vinyasa. Take a breath here. On your next inhale, gazing forward between the palms, you can jump or step to the top of your mat, coming into a forward fold. Releasing the neck here. Maybe taking ragdoll by grabbing opposite elbows. Nice big bend in the knees here. This is our first forward fold of the day. Release the neck. Gently swaying back and forth. On your next exhale, release the hands down to the mat. And on the inhale, begin to press into the feet to sweep the arms up overhead, bringing them to rest over your chest. On the exhale, audibly release. Wonderful job. Moving into our next sequence with a sunset lay, staying at the top of our mat. On the inhale, reaching the arms up. And exhale, forward fold. Bending at the knees, bringing the arms down, releasing the neck. Inhale, coming up halfway, flat back, hands to the shins, gaze down towards the mat. Exhale, placing your hands on the mat, jumping or stepping back into our chaturanga or high plank. Chaturanga, bringing the chest to the floor and then moving into whatever cobra variation you'd like. I'll be taking our upward facing dog. And whenever you're ready, back into that downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths, finding your stability once again. Whenever you're ready, on an inhale, reaching the right foot up, three-legged dog. Inhale, pulling the knee into the chest and placing it at the top of your mat between your two hands. Keeping that back foot, our back heel popped off the mat. On the inhale, squeeze the core to lift some weight out of the hands. Whenever you're ready, begin to sweep the arms up, coming into a crescent lunge. So nice right angle in that front right leg, arms reach up. And continue to breathe. Squeeze that right cheek back as we squeeze that left cheek forward, squaring off the hips. On every exhale, think about sinking a little bit deeper towards the earth. On your next exhale, begin to cactus the arms out as we bend the left knee to hover above the mat. Inhale, extend back up to crescent lunge. Exhale, cactus the arms, bend the left knee to hover above the mat. Inhale, crescent lunge, 2 more times. On the exhale, cactus the arms, bend the left knee. Inhale, crescent. 1 last time on the exhale. Bend the left knee to hover above the mat, cactus the arms out. Take a breath here, broadening through the chest. On an inhale, back up to crescent. Moving into our airplane pose. On your next inhale, sweep the arms back, pull the chest forward. Continue to breathe. You got this. On your next inhale, just begin to sweep the arms up, moving into our rocket lunge. Squeezing that right leg a little bit tighter. On your next inhale, shift the weight forward to bring the left foot up to meet the right. Awesome job. So you want your toes touching, you want your feet slightly apart. On your next inhale, you're gonna sit your hips back, bring your arms up, coming into a nice chair position. Awesome job. On your next exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips. Inhale, coming up halfway, flat back. Exhale, place your hands on the mat, jump or step back to our chaturanga. Move through your vinyasa here, take a couple breaths. Make this your flow. We're gonna do that exact same thing on the other side. Meeting in downward facing dog, finding your stability. On your next inhale, begin to reach the left foot up, three-legged dog. Inhale, begin to pull the knee into the chest and place it between the hands at the top of the mat. Take a breath here, find your nice 90-degree angle in that left leg and begin to pull the weight out of those hands. On your next inhale, sweep the arms up, coming into our crescent lunge. Nice strong shoulders here, nice strong fingertips reaching towards the sky. Pull the left hip back, right hip forward to square off those hips. Get that alignment in order. And just continue to breathe here. finding that strength, finding that power. On your next exhale, moving into those toe-touching lunges, begin to cactus the arms out. Bend the right knee to hover above the mat. Inhale, extend back to crescent. Exhale, cactus the arms, bend the right knee. Inhale to crescent 2 more times. Exhale, cactus the arms, bend the knee. Inhale to crescent 1 last time. Exhale, cactus the arms, bend the knee. And inhale to cactus, preparing for our airplane pose. On the exhale, sweep the arms back, pull the chest forward. Taking a few breaths here, you got this. Squeeze that right cheek, or that left cheek back, right cheek forward. On the inhale, sweep the arms up, coming into our rocket lunge. You got this. We are here for 2 more breaths. Nice job. On your next inhale, pull the right foot forward to meet the left and come down into our chair pose. Take a breath here. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper. Nice job. On your next exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips, bringing the hands down, releasing the neck. Inhale, coming up halfway, flat back. And exhale, placing the hands on the mat, jumping or stepping our feet back into a nice high plank and move through your vinyasa. So chaturanga, moving into your cobra variation. And exhale, back to downward facing dog. We're going to be here for about 10 breaths. So if you need to, maybe bringing the knees down, sending the hips back, coming into our child's pose. Maybe grabbing some water if that sounds good right now. Doing whatever you need for your body. And then we'll be picking up with our next sequence. You guys are doing great. So meeting back in that downward facing dog if you were not there already. We are going to move through that same sequence again, adding on a little bit at the end. So on your next inhale, reaching the right foot up, 3-legged dog. Inhale, knee to chest, place the foot between the hands. And whenever you're ready, inhale, sweeping the arms up, coming into our crescent lunge. Coming straight into our knee taps. Cactus the arms out, bend the left knee down. Inhale, back to crescent. Exhale, cactus the arms, bend the left knee. Inhale, back to crescent 2 more times. Exhale, bend the left knee. Inhale, back to crescent last time. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, back to crescent. Sweep the arms back, pull the chest forward for our airplane pose. Inhale, sweep the arms up for rocket. Take a breath. We are going to be moving into our warrior 3, using this pose as a way to propel ourselves forward. So maybe bringing the hands over the chest to help with balance. On your next inhale, stepping the left foot forward, gently hinging at the hips to pull the left leg up as we bring our top upper body down. Slight micro bend in that right knee. Trying to point those back left toes down towards the mat to even out the hips. Finding a nice spot to focus on. Trying to keep a nice straight line from the spine all the way down to the bottom of the foot. We are here for 1 more breath. You got this. Squeeze that left cheek a little bit higher. On your next exhale, gently hinge at the hips to set that left foot down on the mat. Nice job. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming up halfway, flat back. Exhale, placing the hands on the mat, jumping or stepping back to your high plank and moving through your vinyasa. At your own pace, meeting in that downward facing dog. On the inhale, lifting that left foot up, 3-legged dog. Inhale, knee to chest, putting that left foot in between the 2 thumbs, preparing for our cactus whenever you're ready. On the inhale, sweeping the arms up, moving into our crescent lunge. Going straight into those knee taps, cactus the arms out. On the exhale, bend the right knee to hover above the mat. Inhale to crescent. Exhale, cactus the arms, bend the right knee. Inhale to crescent. 2 more times. You got this. Squeeze that left cheek back. Exhale to cactus. Inhale to crescent. Last time. Exhale to cactus. And inhale to crescent. Sweep the arms back. Pull the chest forward for that airplane pose. Take a breath. And on your inhale, sweep the arms up for our rocket pose. I don't know why sweeping the arms up makes this so much harder, but it does. On your next exhale, bring the hands to rest over the chest and prepare for that warrior 3 by bringing that right foot forward. Exhale, hinging at the hips as we try to create a nice straight spine from the top of the head all the way down to that heel, pointing the toes down towards the mat. And we are here for 2 more breaths. You got this. You can do this. We're almost there. Reach that right foot a little bit higher. On your exhale, gently hinge at the hips. Put that right foot down on the mat. Nice job. And we're going to move into some standing sequences. So putting more weight into your left foot, go ahead and bring the right foot up, just hovering above the mat. And we're going to put this on our left foot for tree. So toes can be down on the mat with heel popped. Foot can be below the knee, or if you'd like, you can pull that right foot all the way up to rest above the knee, just making sure we're not putting any weight on that standing leg. On the inhale, reaching the arms up and maybe bringing them out, trying to find a spot to focus on and continuing to breathe. If you'd like to challenge yourself, maybe taking a slight tilt by on the exhale, gently bending the arms towards that right knee, and inhale back through center. Exhale, gently bending away from that knee, and inhale back to center. 2 more times. Exhale, gently hinge towards that knee, and inhale back to center. 1 last time. On the exhale, gently hinge away from that knee, and inhale back through center. If you're comfortable, feel free to stay here, or we're going to take a different variation of a balancing pose. On your next inhale, lift that right knee up off of that left leg. Gently inner spiral that thigh and place the foot over the left knee. On your next inhale, reaching the arms up, finding a spot to focus on, bringing the hands down over the chest. And if you'd like to challenge yourself, on the exhale, gently beginning to bend the left standing leg, sitting the hips down into this pose. Taking a breath. On your exhale, sink a little bit deeper. Again, take an inhale. Sink a little bit deeper. 1 more time. Inhale. Sink a little bit deeper. You got this. Inhale all the way back up through center, lifting the knee up. And exhale, gently set it on the mat. On your next inhale, begin to sweep the arms up. Look down at your feet. You want your big toes touching, your heels slightly apart. On the exhale, begin to sit the hips back, moving into our chair pose. On your next exhale, sink a little bit deeper. Awesome job. If you're comfortable, feel free to stay here, or you can move into our drinking bird by sweeping the arms back, coming up onto the toes, lifting the heels. On your exhale, sit back down into chair, sweep the arms forward. Again, moving into drinking bird, sweep the arms back, lift the toes up, and exhale back to chair. This time, bring your hands to rest over your chest with the palms touching, and exhale to sink a little bit deeper. Go ahead and turn your chest towards the right side of the room so that the left elbow is pointing down, right elbow is pointing up, and exhale a little bit deeper so that the left elbow rests over the right thigh. Look down at your knees. You want them to be even. If the right one's protruding in front, just go ahead and squeeze that right glute to pull it back. And take a breath in this twist. On your next inhale, begin to gently just lift the left heel up off the mat, maybe the left toes. And if you'd like to try, you can inhale to squeeze the left heel towards the left glute and set it back, coming into a nice lunge twist. Taking 1 more breath here. On your next inhale, bringing the hands into the chest, bringing them down to the mat to frame the foot. Exhale, step the foot back. Move through your chaturanga. And back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot up, three-legged dog. Pull the knee into the chest and place it at the top of your mat. Inner spiral that left heel and cartwheel the arms up, coming into our warrior two, just like we did earlier. Take a deep breath here. On your exhale, sink deeper into that front right leg. On your next inhale, extend the front leg up and heel toe the back foot up, just a little, preparing for triangle. On your next exhale, pull the weight forward and bring the right hand down to the mat or to your shin or to a big book or anything that you have as you reach that left arm up into the sky. Trying to stack your shoulders on top of each other, opening your chest up to the side of the room. We'll be here for a few more breaths. If you're comfortable, feel free to stay here, or you can transition into our half moon by stepping the right fingertips out, squeezing the left glute to lift the heel up. Again, trying to stack our shoulders on top of each other and open our chest up to the side of the room, just like we did in that triangle pose. Squeeze that left glute to lift that leg a little bit higher. And on your next exhale, gently bend the front knee to set that foot back down on the mat. Nice job. Let's move into our pyramid pose. Right foot is a little in front of the left. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, forward fold over that front right leg. Release the neck, and on every exhale, allow the upper body to sink a little bit closer to that left front right leg. If you're comfortable, feel free to stay here, or you can walk the hands out to gently lift the back left leg, coming into a standing split, putting more weight into the palms of the hands. If you'd like to really challenge yourself, maybe bringing your hands back and maybe even wrapping them around your ankle. On your next exhale, gently bend the right knee, bring the left foot down to meet the right. Inhale, press through the feet, reach the arms up overhand, head, and exhale right back into our next sun salé, hinging at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, coming up halfway, flat back. Exhale, placing the hands on the mat, jumping or stepping back, moving through your vinyasa. And back into your downward facing dog. Taking a breath here. On your next inhale, looking forward, jumping or stepping to the top of the mat. Inhale, reaching the arms up. And exhale, releasing the hands over your chest. Audible exhale to bring the hands down. Awesome job. Moving into that same thing on the other side, putting more weight into the right leg, lifting the left leg up off the mat and placing it for tree wherever you did so on the other side. Inhale, reaching the arms up and bringing them out. Finding a nice spot to focus on. Beginning to find some stability. Adding in a little bit of a dynamic challenge here. On your next exhale, begin to tilt the left hand towards the left knee. And inhale back through center. Exhale, tilt away. And inhale back through center. Exhale, tilt towards the knee. Inhale back through center one last time. Exhale, tilt away from that knee. And inhale back through center. Go ahead and lift that left knee up off of the right leg. Inhale, reach the arms up and set them over your chest. Inner spiral that left foot. And go ahead and place it over that right knee, above the knee. We don't want to put any pressure on that standing knee. If you'd like to challenge yourself, begin to sit the hips back as we bend that right leg. On your inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sink deeper. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sink deeper. Take a breath. On your inhale, moving back up through center, gently placing that foot down on the mat and preparing for our chair pose by having the toes together, ankles slightly separated. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, sit the hips back. Take a breath here. Squeezing the glutes, reaching the arms up if you like to, moving into our drinking bird by sweeping the arms back, lifting the heels, coming onto the toes. And exhale back down. Inhale, reach the arms up. Chair pose. One more time. Exhale, drinking bird. Lift the heels. And inhale, send the hips down. Reach the arms up. Take a breath. On your next exhale, placing the hands over the chest, begin to twist towards the left side of the room so that the right elbow is pointing down, left elbow is pointing up. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper so that you can bring the right elbow to rest on top of the left thigh. Taking a breath here, look down at your knees. Try and even them out by squeezing whichever hip is in front. And just begin to take some of the weight out of that right foot. Maybe lifting the heel or the toes. And on your next inhale, maybe try to squeeze the right heel into the right glute and gently step that foot back. Nice job. Inhale, bring the hands up to the chest and then place them down on the mat. Step the left foot back, chaturanga, move through your vinyasa. Take a breath. Meeting in downward facing dog, maybe pedaling out here. Hopefully our hamstrings are starting to feel very warm. On your next inhale, lift the left foot up, three-legged dog. Pull the knee into the chest and place it at the top of the mat. Go ahead and inner spiral that back thigh and begin to move up into our warrior two. Taking a breath here. Opening up through the hips, reaching out through the chest. On your next inhale, extend the left leg, heel toe the right foot forward, preparing for triangle. On your next exhale, shift your weight forward, bring the left hand down to the mat, to your shin, or to a block if you have one. Trying to stack your shoulders on top of each other, opening that chest up to the side of the room. Maybe transitioning into that half moon if it feels comfortable for you by stepping that left hand out, squeezing the right glute to lift up that leg, and gently trying to stack your shoulders on top of each other and open the chest up, just like we did in triangle. Maybe noticing one side is a lot harder for you. This side is definitely harder for me, and that's totally okay. Holding for one more breath, squeezing that right leg up just a little bit higher. Exhale, gently set that right foot back down on the mat, and we'll prepare to come into triangle. Left toes a little bit in front of the right, both feet facing towards the top of your mat. Inhale to reach the arms up, and exhale, forward fold. Releasing the neck down, releasing the hands maybe to the shin or to the mat if they reach. On every exhale, allowing the upper body to sink a little bit deeper. Continuing to breathe. If you're comfortable staying here, or maybe walking the hands out as we lift our right leg up, coming into a standing split. Bringing more weight forward into the hands. Maybe gently walking them back towards that left ankle. And if you'd like to challenge yourself, maybe taking hold of that left ankle. Continuing to breathe. We're here for 2 more breaths. You can do this. On your next exhale, gently place that left leg down on the mat. Inhale to press through the feet to reach the arms up. Bring the hands over your chest. And exhale, release. Nice job, sun salé. Inhale to reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming up halfway, flat back. Exhale, placing the hands on the mat, jumping or stepping back, moving through your vinyasa. And meeting in that downward facing dog. Moving into our cool down on an inhale, reaching the right foot up, 3-legged dog. Pull the knee into the chest, and this time place that foot near the edge of your mat. So you want both hands inside towards that foot. Go ahead and release the back left knee as we move into our lizard pose. So you might need to heel toe that foot over a little bit to the side of the mat. We want to make sure this leg stays nice and straight, that it doesn't bow in or away. So if you'd like to, you can stay up on the palms of your hands, or maybe you can exhale to rest on the forearms. Taking a few breaths here, releasing into this pose, allowing your heart rate to fall, and continuing to breathe. Taking your final breaths here. On your inhale, begin to walk back up onto the palms of your hands and begin to heel toe that right leg over, preparing to come into our half pigeon. On the exhale, maybe releasing back onto those forearms, maybe bringing your forehead down to the mat. Wherever you are, releasing completely for the next couple of breaths. On your next inhale, gently beginning to walk yourself back up onto the palms of your hands. Taking a breath, taking your time. Beginning to tuck the left toes under, lifting the left knee, and stepping the right foot back into a high plank. We have a little bit more core work before we end our practice today. So coming down onto the forearms, moving into a forearm plank, maybe wrapping fingers here. Moving into a dolphin pose on your inhale, begin to send the hips up, pressing through the forearms. Taking a breath here. And on your next exhale, moving back down to that forearm plank. Taking a breath. And inhale back to dolphin. Press through the forearms to lift the hips up. Moving back to forearm plank. One last time. On the inhale, send the hips up. Exhale back to forearm plank, this time holding for 5 breaths. You got this. Press into the forearms to press up out of the shoulders. Send the heels towards the back of the room. And don't forget to keep breathing. We're almost there. Awesome job. On your next inhale, press back up onto the palms of the hands and send the hips up and back into that downward facing dog. Taking a breath. On your next inhale, lift the left leg up, 3-legged dog. Inhale, pull the knee into the chest and place it down on the mat towards the edge of your mat for lizard. Go ahead and release that back right leg and maybe move down onto the forearms if that feels comfortable for you. Taking a few breaths here. On the inhale, walking back up onto the palms of the hands and beginning to heel toe that left leg over, preparing for pigeon. Again, moving down onto the forearms, maybe bringing the forehead to the mat and completely releasing. next inhale, gently coming back up onto the palms of the hands. Tucking the toes under, lifting the right knee and stepping back to high plank. A little bit more core and shoulder work on the exhale. Come down into that forearm plank. And inhale right back up to that high plank. You got this 3 more times. Exhale, forearm plank. And inhale, high plank. Exhale, forearm plank. We're almost there. And inhale, high plank. Last time. Exhale, forearm plank. And inhale, high plank. Send the hips back and up into our downward facing dog. And whenever you're ready, bend the knees, send the hips back, come all the way down to the mat for that child's pose, just like we started class with today. Bringing the forehead down to the mat. Maybe audibly exhaling out. And returning back to the breath. Whenever you are ready, gently walking the hands back to pull the upper body up. Rolling onto one side, swinging the legs around, and doing our last little bit of work before we come into real, true relaxation. By placing the feet flat on the floor, knees up, placing the arms to our side, and on the exhale, gently rounding through the spine, slowly and with control. And on your next exhale, coming all the way down to the mat. Awesome job. On your next inhale, begin to pull the right knee in towards the chest as you extend the left leg long. Pull the right knee in a little bit closer. And if it feels good, maybe bring it out a little to the side. It's a much more natural range of motion. Moving into a supine twist. Gently bring that right knee over the midline, over towards the left side of the room. Extend your arms wide. And maybe bring your gaze to look over at those right fingertips. Here, trying to keep our right shoulder on the mat, but not trying to force that right knee down. Maybe closing your eyes if it feels comfortable for you. And on every exhale, allowing yourself to sink deeper into this twist. Taking one last deep breath here. And on your next inhale, bringing that knee into the chest and giving it one last little hug. Inhale the left knee into the chest as we extend that right leg back down to the mat. Pull the left knee in. Again, maybe gently bringing it to the side if that feels more natural for you. And whenever you're ready, on an exhale, gently moving into that supine twist by guiding that left knee over to the right side, extending your arms long and gazing over at those left fingertips. Again, on every exhale, gently releasing into this pose. Taking 2 more deep, full breaths here. And on your next inhale, begin to pull that left knee back into the chest. Maybe pulling up the right knee as well, hugging them both into the chest, and maybe gently swaying side to side. If you like to, you can lift the feet up, grabbing the big toes or the outside of the foot to come into our happy baby. Continuing to sway side to side. whenever you're ready on an exhale, gently releasing your feet and bringing them down to extend on the mat. Hands can come to rest by your side, or maybe you'd like to extend them a little bit out, or in cactus to open up through the chest. Gently relax as we come into our final resting pose, Shavasana. On every exhale, allow yourself to sink a little bit deeper. Close your eyes and enjoy this time of stillness. Together we'll be moving through 10 breaths to end our practice today. So on your next exhale, completely releasing all the air. And inhale 1. Exhale 1. Inhale 2. Exhale 2. Inhale 3. Exhale 3. Inhale 4. Exhale 4. Inhale 5. Exhale 5. Inhale 6. Exhale 6. Inhale 7. Exhale 7. Inhale 8. Exhale 8. Inhale 9. Exhale 9. And inhale 10. And exhale 10. If it is possible, I encourage you to continue this Shavasana at your own time. On your next inhale, begin to reach your hands up overhead, stretching just like you do when you wake up in the morning. Moving from that corpse pose of Shavasana into this reawakening. And on your next exhale, gently roll on to your favorite side, bending your knees and resting your head in your hands, coming into the fetal position. This was our first yoga pose for all of us. It's always important to come back to that. Taking your final breaths of the practice here and thanking yourself for making time to come onto your mat and for making time for your practice. Keeping the top leg heavy and using as little energy as possible, begin to press yourself up into a cross-legged position on your mat. Maybe keeping your eyes closed if that's comfortable. And on the inhale, reaching the arms up, bringing the palms together, bringing your hands to rest over your mind for peaceful thoughts, bringing them over your lips for peaceful words, and finally resting your hands over your heart for peaceful actions. The light within me honors and respects each and every one of you. Thank you so much for practicing here with me today. Namaste. All right, you guys, that is all I have today. I hope you all have a great rest of the semester and a wonderful Thanksgiving break. This was my last class teaching virtually, so very sad, but also very happy for all the new things that are happening next semester. If you could, there is a little box in the description box down below, a little link for you to fill out a feedback form. If you have any time, I would really appreciate it. And I will see you guys all next semester. Thanks so much.